Oh, we still hustle till the sun come up. Crack a 40 when the sun go down. It's a cold winter. And when it's a cold winter, you better bundle up and bring your physicality when you're playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Listen, pardon me if I don't want to dwell in negativity. I don't want to talk about who at the wide receiver position. I don't want to talk about how the offense could be doing this and that, right? I recognize that it could be better, and I recognize that it will be better the more the season goes on, right? Because it becomes about physicality. Every possession becomes so detrimental when you're dealing with physicality, man, and those body blows start adding up, especially when you're referring to the defense, right? The very best defense on the planet. You're talking about taking a team like the Detroit Lions, right? A team that damn talented with those type of explosive players on it, and holding them boys to 9 points. They couldn't get in the end zone. They could not get in the end zone. This is the same season that people told me before the season that, hey, you got some tough games on the schedule. We know you're not going to win. You're going to go to Tampa and beat the Buccaneers after what they did to you last season? How'd that go? Right? They're like, yo, you going to beat the Rams? The Rams is on fire. They have a line of scrimmage just like you guys. All this and that right there. What about going to Green Bay? Come on, man. You're going to welcome the Detroit Lions, and they're probably the best team in the NFC, I was told. Yeah, all four of them Jones wins. So dwell on negativity you want. Have one player bring down the morale of the team, talking about this and that. What I'm saying, when the end game and the focus should always be about the team. The team, the team, the team. So I love what I see out there when Jaelan Phillips being inserted along with the hall monitor, Nakobe Dean. There's no running in the halls when Nakobe Dean is present. And we've seen that since he's been back. But Jaelan Phillips ties it all together, man. Absolutely love that. Jaelan Phillips, to me, is bringing out the best in Jalen Carter. When Jalen Carter is looking like Jalen Carter, it's a tough team to beat, man. He's just going to wreak so much havoc on the inside. It's going to be a lot of shit that a lot of people don't see that he's doing. A lot of shit he's opening up for people. He's very good in the hammer and nail games on twists and stunts, edge exchanges and all that. Same deal with Maro Jomo. Maro Jomo looking great out there. I have a little bit of props to Jordan Davis. He was batting down passes, right? He relegated to being Mutombo out this motherfucker, right? I think he had himself a solo tackle and all that, man. But the hall monitor, Zach Bond, Michael Carter sighting finally, right? Have we seen that dime defense there? Of course, Cooper DeJean's going to do his thing. Quinyon Mitchell, what more can be said about this kid, man? Right? What more can be said about this kid, man? I don't know. You know what I mean? Everybody there is pulling their weight, in my opinion, in the defense's championship. Just like I said last year, everybody said I was on some nut shit. I said the Philadelphia Eagles are built for the playoffs, playing championship football, and it's going to be a tough style to deal with. So I think they should lean more into certain concepts on offense, right? It probably they don't want to lean into, but it's probably just going to have to come down to that, and we can see where it goes from there, man. But I definitely excited about that defense and what it will and continue to do as the season draws on. All right, so with that being said, man, let's go ahead and get to it, baby. Salute to all my villains out there.
What more can I say?
Top Billin. Man, 8-2. I don't want to hear anything else. I want to hear about these concepts, right? This personnel deployment and everything. Like, if you look at something like this, on this cross-dog blitz, I knew my man Nakobe Dean was on a heater on this one, right? I definitely like how they deploy this, right? You have, damn near at a 6 technique, Jalen Carter doing his thing off the edge against Taylor Decker. You have Jalix Hunt doing the same here. I believe this might actually be Byron Young in the game. Mario Ajomo, and you have Zach Bond, right, on the hammer situation, then in the nail situation coming through that strong A, that would be the hall monitor, Kobe Dean. So there's no more running in the halls, and it looks like you had to have a pass, 2 pass as well, and then look at this. You see how Jared Goff not throwing, he's pulling the ripcord. He's not usually Jared Goff, when he's on, man, his mechanics are very much impeccable and everything, but you're speeding him up with that clock, bringing in somebody like Nakobe Dean, who's not chopping his feet when he sees physicality having to take place, right? He's running like he's going to run through a brick wall. He does not give a shit, right? That's why you bring somebody in like that at that Mike Backer spot, getting through that interior A gap, and then Jared Goff just has to pretty much pull the ripcord. I don't even know where the hell he's throwing the ball to. He just has to throw that shit, right? But then you get this joint. Now look at how they pass off duties here. You'll get inside-out pass pro from David Montgomery. Of course, right, he's going to be concerned about Zach Bond. He sees him drop off. You get him dropping off there. Then you get the hall monitor Nakobe Dean coming through here in the B gap, right? So he coming in the B gap. You're going to get that inside-out blitz pickup. And David Montgomery, a physical player in his own right, does Nakobe Dean chop his feet. And bang. Look at that. Jared Goff had to eat that. Come on, man. Come on. What are we doing? Still sending floor Jalen Hunt on the drop-off, right? Showing that these edge players are legitimate linebackers in the Vic Fangio scheme, them dropping in the coverage so much. Jaelan Phillips on the outside, B-gap duty by Nakobe Dean, meeting that inertia here. Look at this. No, look at this lean into it. Head on the outside, protecting his brain and skull, and boom, gets my man lifted off this earth. Lamb, look at that. Lifted off this earth, all the way off this earth. Look at that. Sent the man into space, and then Jared Goff just has to eat that shit. Come on, man. You can't tell me you don't see the difference with this guy on the field. I saw where the hall monitor said that he was a little upset at himself. He said he's working himself back, knocking off the rust and everything, and he gave up a pass. He felt like he never gives up. Now, you can actually put some validity to that when he's going against Jahmyr Gibbs and doing something like this, man. This is incredible, right? Had him on that 50-50 action, and look at him get right into the hips, right? We know Jahmyr Gibbs can run his ass off, right? Look at that, though. Right, catch him in a 50-50 situation. He has inside leverage, right? So if anything, he wants to force him to go outside, right? So if Jahmyr Gibbs is able to do this, I have no qualms about it. I believe Nakobe Dean flips his hips this way, and he's able to stay with that, right? But having to slow your feet down when you have somebody in kinetic motion, right, like Jahmyr Gibbs is, and then he turns on the jets trying to wheel you out. Look at Dean, though. Look at Dean. Come on, man. What are we doing here, boy? Nakobe Dean. I don't need to see nobody in there for Nakobe Dean, period, right? Let him play the whole joint. Having to pick up Jameson Williams on a crosser right here. Nakobe Dean, right, sinking under that shit right there, doing that thing. Listen, I had some goofy try to tell me that Nakobe Dean was the Sam and Zach Bond was the Mike and shit like that. You be in some nut shit on the internet. But look at this. Right up under it, located. Look at him locate and then turn and try to play the ball through the hands. Look at that. That's excellent. That's great FBI football intelligence right here. Knowing already this is Jameson Williams, I doubt anybody can really run with him on the field, right? Maybe Quinyon Mitchell can run with him if you factor in the technique. But look, this is how you mitigate shit like that, just by being smart about it. Let me locate him, sink underneath it, watch his eyes, and don't be trying to worry about the ball until it's the moment of truth scenario. And that's exactly what happens right here. Doesn't hurt that, you know what I mean, pressure up front was causing Jared Ghost, right? Jared Goff to see ghosts. Jared Ghost. Listen, your man Jahai Campbell got to get better, man. I'm sorry, right? And a lot of it's just physicality. Look at him right here, engulfed in the block again. Worry too much about the block, man. Just blow this shit up. Right? Do yourself a favor. Play like your hair is on fire. Blow this shit up. As soon as he sees some type of physicality, what's he going to do? He's going to start chopping his feet. Worried about that shit right there. Look at him barely getting off this shit. And Jahmyr Gibbs is off to the races right here. Like, come on, man. You got to run into these dudes. Show some presence. All right? Just sticking up, man, come on. Blow it up. Bang. Blow it up. Force him to be outside. right? If you blow this up enough, right, you force him to be outside, then you cut Jahmyr Gibbs back into traffic, and maybe somebody has a little bit better chance of getting it. You just do not want your mans to be able to get outside right there. Outside them numbers, man, he's going to be hell on wheels, and we saw what the rest of that was. Jaelan Phillips in the sack column, but, man, watch what your boy Jalen Carter does right here. Collapsing this man's spinal column, splack a tire, fertilize that man, and then coming around the mountain when he comes, of course, is your boy Jaelan Phillips. But, man, look at this, right? You talk about leverage, the leverage game right here. My man could not sink these mud hooks in. Look at him. Down goes Frazier, even with a little bit of help right here. But Sewell having to help his man out right there. That's that prison loving, right? Prison loving right here. We're going to have to blur that out a little bit, right? That's that violent prison loving too, man. But obviously, Boy's going to be needing a service dog and a colostomy bag all at the same time right there. But look, nowhere to go. Everybody's plastered, man. Look at this. Where are you going to go with this if you're Jared Goff and then you have pressure coming around the edges, and then the sight line muddied with Jalen Carter giving out that prison loving? Nasty. Y'all know there was a couple of run plays that I loved in this game. Y'all know I'm a huge 90 flip fan, and I love counter plays, right? Counter OH, right? You're going to be putting Landon Dickerson, layering that bitch like an onion. First man smoking on the end man on the line of scrimmage, right? He gets in man on the line of scrimmage. Then Calcaterra here, he's coming through getting the first thing smoking. I love this shit right here, and Saquon Barkley does his thing as well, but definitely get to more of the offense on the all-22, right? I love this spin move coming up right here. Great instincts, man, by Saquon Barkley there. Boom. All right, had to have that shit too, but love it when we start pulling the guards. Bang, laying Dickerson, right? Laying out the end man on the line of scrimmage, layering it up with Calcaterra. Boom. He's getting Alex Anzalone there. And then look at the spin on Brian Branch. Going through Campbell a little bit. Man, I love it. Look at how special this is when you tie in the rush with great players on the back end who understand zone concepts, right? That would be Jaelan Phillips and your man Quinyon Mitchell working together here. What that does is going to speed up the circadian rhythm of Jared Goff and not allow his feet, right, a moment's rest. What you're going to get pretty much amounts to a mesh concept on the inside right here. You got Jameson Williams going to pull a little bit of attention there. But you get a sell route by Amon-Ra St. Brown here, right? They want to muddy the waters here and make somebody have to follow in. But you get Jaelan Phillips with that length that he has. He's able to sink right here into hook curl. Right, let me erase that right there. Sink right here in the hook curl, and he follows this in both directions, right? Showing off the skill there, but showing off exactly how he understands the zone awareness. And the same deal with Quinyon Mitchell right here. He follows inside a little bit, but then he's on the out right here, right up under this sell route. And there's really nowhere for Jared Goff to go when you see that it's sped up like that. Look at that late ad. You pulled him. Look at that right there. Where the hell is Jared Goff even throwing the ball to? Continuously pulling the ripcord. I can't stress how good the Detroit Lions are on offense and defense, right? Defense is nasty as shit as well. I definitely want to see a round two between these two teams. I love the type of players that they have on there. Same deal with Green Bay as well. Beating these talented teams, man, it has to be worth something. But you see the late ad here by Zach Bond, it still ends up just being an organic rush with 4 people, right? 4 people there. Jaelan Phillips dropping off into hook curl, the hook curl zone. And look at that, taking away the tight end right there, and then still stay there for if he wanted to even try Jameson Williams. But Jameson Williams, you definitely wouldn't want to go here. And look at Quinyon Mitchell. Keep it into his zone, right? Zone concept with man principles. Back on this Jaelan Phillips, right? Late ad by Cooper DeJean here takes away Penei Sewell, right? Having to swing the gate there. And then Jaelan Phillips just politely goes by Tate Rallis, right? Damn, Tate, what's going on right here? Look at this right here. Excuse me, sir. I was like, You saw how polite that was, right? That man doesn't have any wasted movements, right? Getting to the quarterback, getting vert on him, and then look at this, right? Very subtle. Fight the hands. Excuse me, sir. I would like to get to your quarterback. He's like, oh, by all means. There's a lot of polite football going on with Jaelan Phillips is only in the game right there. Come on, Tate Ratledge definitely had to do a little bit better than this, right? He barely got a hand on ball. Look at that. Pretty much in his midsection. And, damn, you can't even really call this a move, right? He just legitimately got skinny through the hole right there and finessed him, right? Damn, Jared Goff. I had to dirt that bad boy. He dirted that shit. What was John Campbell doing right here, too, man? Look, he dirted the shit. Hit the ground, and John was like, I got it, Coach. Coach, I got it. Like it was a fumble or something. What are we doing here? Oh, was that Adoree Jackson getting us off the field on third down? Jared Goff on the pull right here, and then Taka. Adoree Jackson with a PBU on third down. We are living in the twilight zone. Look at this. Coming flat down, just how you would teach it. You want to bump off that outside hip to be able to keep that outside arm free so you don't interfere. And damn, man, that was some good work right there, all right? Right at the sticks and everything. My man, Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? Doing that dumbass dance that he was doing. You know what I'm saying? We'll leave that one alone. Now, if you haven't learned by now, I'm unapologetically me. You know what I'm saying? I don't run with the crowd. You know what I mean? The crowd has to run with me. So I don't think this is pass interference. I don't think at all. I think this was a horrible call. Look at this shit. What is this right here? If this happened against my team, I would be livid. So I understand the Detroit Lions fans who are going to see this type of shit and really get mad about it, right? There's nothing you can say to change my mind on this. This is really good work right here by Rock Ya-Sin. And if anything, you can see at the apex of this route, A.J. Brown pushes off. Look at that. Right here. A.J. Brown pushed off, but they call it on Rock Ya-Sin, right? That's terrible. Man, you win some, you lose some as far as the calls go, right? Because there's some shit that could have been called against Detroit, too, that I felt. And, yeah, but I understand that's a pivotal moment, and I definitely wanted to highlight that, right, and show you that I'm being unbiased no matter what I'm doing when I'm behind this microphone, right? I'm going to always carry it with a level of professionalism. With that being said, man, you can't do the Tyrese. Look at you, man, right here, right? What more do you want from me?
I'm at $13,000 a month. What more do you want from me?
Damn, man. Come on, I don't blame him, though, but shit. Come on, man. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and call it a day right there. Your boy going to come back with the all-22. We're going to dig into the offense and see what's going on there. I got to say it, my man Jalen Hurts, I think he's playing good football, but he's definitely missing some opportunities for some explosives. But I think everything's going to come around, right? I can see some stuff that they were starting to lean into that I think will take the offense to the next level, right? At least that's what I believe there. But we shall see, man. 8-2. I don't give a what anybody talking about, right? And listen, much love to everybody out there, all my villains, man, sending in that quality support. We got to keep the lights on here at Top Billin, man. People got to understand it's a business. So your support means everything. And you know what else means everything? Apparently, these neighborhood shout-outs, right? Because you used to be getting crazy, right? You come here saying some nut shit, I'm not shouting out your neighborhood. It will have to be under some crazy circumstances, like you live in my neighborhood of Kensington or something like that, and I have no choice. But other than that, of course, big shout-outs to Kensington, all right? Big shout-outs to East Kensington, West Kensington, Upper Kensington, right? Old Kensington, all the Kensingtons. We in the building, man. Big shout outs to North Philly, period, right? And West Philly, North Philly, West Philly, you know what I'm saying? You stump out there as well. Shout outs to the people out in Overbrook, out west. Shout outs to people in Cobbs Creek, of course. Parkside. Everybody doing the thing over there. But, man, of course, North Philly, Northern Liberties. Shout outs to Fishtown, Spring Garden. Big love to, of course, Strawberry Mansion in Brewery Town, Sharswood, Allegheny West. Big shout outs to all my folks on the River Ward section out here, man. Harrogate, of course, you know how you do it in Port Richmond. And, big love to people out northeast, right? Fox Chase, Oxford Circle, to Coney. Big love, of course, to Frankfurt. Frankfurt always putting in work. Big shout outs to Logan, Mount Airy, them boys out uptown. Shout outs to Nicetown, right? Man, right? We doing it, man. South Philly, the P, baby. Shout outs to Packer Park, Girard Estates. Big love to Grays Ferry. Yeah, man. As always, Southwest, right? People on Southwest got to give it up to Elmwood Park and them Bulls. And I pretty much like the work that everybody's putting in, man, for sure, man. Everybody's doing their thing, supporting. So shout outs to South Jersey. Big love to Cinnamon Sin. Big love to, of course, Cherry Hill. Camden in the building as always. Millville, Bridgeton, Vineland, AC, Atlantic City. You know what I mean? Big love to Wilmington, Delaware, Christiana, Newark, Newcastle. And, of course, big love to Elkton, Maryland. We in there, baby. Big salute.